Hi, my beautiful souls. Thank you for tuning in with Enchantress. That is me, the Babbler. That is me on this revolutionary rise of an uprise that is happening now at this time. And so I'm just gonna go in because inspired I am to hit that record in the midst of me getting ready to look like my Instagram pictures. As you can see, it's gonna be quick, and I don't have my tools. I don't always have my tools. I think when I started my YouTube channel, I didn't really use tarot, although I have been divinely guided to read tarot since before the age of 5. I was doing cartomancy. You know, it's interesting when you can travel your own timeline. That's the beauty of living multidimensionally, right? Because there's no cage, there's no boundary, there's no line, there's nothing that can keep you away from the fragments of these spaces of time that you have occupied. And so even though time, the concept of time, has been created to communicate processes and things like that, and be able to communicate in a structured kind of way, you know, it doesn't eliminate the truth of the root that, in essence, time, although given meaning and definition, right, truly doesn't exist, but it does. You get what I'm saying? So it's very wonderful to be a time traveler in these kind of ways. The leveling of expansion of your expansiveness and your ability to shed all layers of preconceived knowledge you think you have, right? Or you know. Because to know is to know that you don't know shit. Right? And be on some true perspectives. But all we have in these moments of right now are now mistake moments of presence. That's why it's vitally important to be in your I am present right motherfucker now. Because if not, where are you occupying? Space, right? Time, space, I always say, and I've been saying this since I was a little girl too, is continuum. And I must have read it from somewhere, but you know, what does a 7-year-old that's saying continuum really know what time is continuum? Like, what is this kid saying? Right? So it's nice to travel your own timelines of things, right? Because time traveler is I, right? Hi. Right? So, it's, especially if you're a scientist of some sort, right? Which we all are, especially when we're on our Dora Explorera, right? Jump straight, right? Because I've been exploring, discovering, uncovering, revealing, unveiling, diving since forever, right? So even in our dormant times of just programmed functioning, and what I mean by that is those times that you were just operating from your conditioned standpoint of getting up and doing what you are programmed to do, and in no connection to you. It's like a shell of your own existence. It's like being here, but where are thee? Where art thou? I don't know. Somewhere inside. Ooh, the trapping of the personal hive through the distorted lens of the occupy that taps out of the 3D, right? Anyways, poetry is me. I don't need cards to speak, okay? Fluid is I. There's channeling divine. This is a healing channel. So whatever reason or whatever brings you here to this particular space at this moment in time, for however much long you stay here or come here or dive here or dive, whatever the case may be, alchemy, these waves sent your way for your own evolution of a revolution. I don't hold no tie of control to the development of your soul. That is for you to do, individual, although we are one, you see, right? The depths of these moments of connectivity, right? I have been analyzing a lot of things on many lives, right? So I love to dive in, and time traveler is I in every aspect, because we timestamp moments in our own divine journeys. So start to recognize these time-stamping moments, and unfortunately many of them will be time-stamped through our time-stamping of things that have affected our emotional well-being in some kind of way. And a lot of those times it's like traumatic in some kind of way, or some kind of, you know, whatever, some kind of moment in time that, well, I have no choice but to remember this for the rest of my life, you know, kind of vibe. And, you know, to understand or comprehend or timestamp self-talk moments. Come on, think about it. Think about it. Like, I used to catch myself when I lost myself. And I guess this was a impression from lifetimes of only knowing myself, right? That I was able to remember something that was dynamic in this moment of where I locked myself, whether it be, you know, whatever, in a bathroom, let's say, curled up on the floor and saying, this can't be my life in any kind of way. What is happening here? This is not it. No. Like, wanting to be like the Wizard of Oz, kicking my heels, like, there's no place like home. But where is that? There's no place like home. But where is that? There's no place like home. What the fudge is this? What is this? What is this? Wake up. Wake up. Right? So, when you have these, like, timestamp of life moments, and they can not necessarily have to be traumatic, right? It can be joyful, joyous, right? On days that we have calendarized. Maybe I made up that word. All right. We all make up words. Words are made up. Who said that there was ever to stop? Like, come on. Evolution is evolution, expansion. Like, stop telling me what to do because based off of your conditioning telling you that that's your limit. Like, stop it. Right? That's why I don't get bogged down in politics and religion and all this kind of stuff, right? People be like, oh, or even the color war. I'm this color at this moment. I was a color at another moment. And guess what? I was a color at another moment. We have been every motherfucking color for us to stay trapped in that system of color, too. I know that might trigger a lot of people, too. They're like, oh, because of the injustices that are happening in this world. Yes. Granted. But you were a part of that injustice in another life. Adding strife. Doing things that were not right. Okay, so when do we take responsibility, accountability for the parts that we have played, even if we don't want to acknowledge it in another kind of way, of a multi-dimensional kind of way, of another lifetime that you have participated? To think that you have, or that you can stamp yourself into this kind of skin for every single lifetime that you spend. Ancestral. Are we not ancestors too? Whatever the revolution, evolution of you, yeah, there are things in every single multi-dimensional layer that exists, right? This is for somebody. And hey, somebody who might be seeing a little bit more. Somebody who's probably always seen a little bit more, okay? The fear, right, that has been instilled in you to fear, right? Horror movie fanatic over here, okay? Because of horror movies, I have stunted my own evolution, okay? Due to the visualization of distorted subliminals, right? Creating that fear dynamic, right? Because the challenge with fear is to get through it because you're afraid, right? So we have been conditioned to be afraid of other things that we see, because now you have a lot of psychology coming into the midst, right? To challenge you. Are you crazy? Are you delusional? Are you this? Are you that? Are you that? Are you special? Are you sick? Crazy? No, something's wrong with you, right? Right? That projectile vomit, right? Kind of life. So you question everything like, I can't be right. Your truth is in your alignment. Even if it goes against every other system development that you think you're supposed to abide in. Biden. Something's happening there. Whew. Anyways, I haven't watched TV and all those kind of things in over 10 years or so, right? I have to say that because I have no concept of time. But I know that by now, it has to be over 10 years. I have no time for it. I'm not saying that I don't watch it in passing, because there are locations that I go to, places that I go, and TVs are on, right? So how do I not see something that's there? But I had detached from that processes because of my heightened sensitivities and empath qualities. When I did start tapping in to like even watching the news and how devastating or just controversial or just what it was triggering in me to react, right? So I had to detach. And so it never became, and that's funny when you can really look at it, the addictions, right? You're addicted to stimulation in every kind of way. But to understand my own activate from my own processes of my own stimulation that naturally comes from within me, I'm always stimulated. It's like, that's why people are like, what drugs are you on? I'm like, my personality. They be getting me hyped, right? So I'm my own biggest, greatest source of entertainment, okay? Further, I don't understand boredom. I've never have, I never will, even as a child. Even when I would say it because I just don't want to be home, I am bored. I would sit there and be like, what is that? This is entertaining for me, because I was entertaining myself by being a pain in the ass, right? You want to leave a child with nothing to do, like, it was the principle for me, right? It wasn't that I was bored. It was that you were wrong for thinking this was okay. Right? Oh, how that has hurt me in a many kind of way, right? The high horse syndrome that everybody's like, get off your high horse. And then when I mess up, it was, everybody's so excited. Yeah, you're that. Hey! That's how they get. Right? Think about the people in your life that when you do something that's not right, think about the response to that dynamic of your fuck up. Like, enthralled. Like, what? What? You lost your cool? Really? You? Like, intrigued, right? Hateful, unhappy beings, right? When you think about the distorted lens of deceit. And then if you're an empath like me, how you receive that. If you're not conscious of the energies of perception that you're tapping into, like if you're not really saying to yourself consciously, hey, I'm absorbing the energies of this person who is perceiving this like this, and I feel every ounce of their energy, and so I'm aware that this is not mine. If you're an empath that's not tapped into it in that kind of a line, right? Then I keep hearing my charger, I guess. Hold on one second. Oh, my God, they're crazy. What are you doing? That's because you guys are crazy. I don't know how this is gonna work. Like this. Listen, I listen to spirit. I wasn't going to do any of this shit, okay? So I was just trying to speed up my time, and now it doesn't want to stay because, you know why? Because the thing in the bottom. But hold on, you see? I'm almost done, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll just speak to you guys like that. Listen, there's these ugly clouds in the sky, but I didn't do that. If I would have did that, it would have come out nicer. But I'm not going to complain because I didn't do that. So I'm grateful that I didn't have to do that. And so I accept. Alright, we're going to be like this for right now. What was I saying? I don't even know. It's like some sage up in this bench. Right? Oh yeah. Empaths. Right? So if you're not being a conscious empath, right? And most of the people in this world are not conscious empaths. I remember when I started like really diving and exploring anxiety, right? Because part of like when you can say quit psychology, right? I've studied many things in colleges. I've never stopped going to school. Even when I was pregnant with my daughter, I was working full-time and going to school full-time, okay? I used to read, like, the textbooks to her in my belly and say she was a genius because, of course, you would have to be a genius because I am. Right? I'm like the blonde-headed genius, and I hate to use that analogy, but because if I say it, then you can get what it means, because I'm so ditzy and so airy and so, like, I forget a lot of things, and they'll be like, oh, that's because, you know, whatever, you fly in your life, and that's that in your life. No, that has nothing to do with that, okay? I understand that, and I'm not going to explain that now, but it is what it is, right? So we're cleansing the space. Oh, yeah. Okay. Listen, breathe in. Let that fuck shit go. Breathe in. There's so much you don't know. Breathe in. And understand your under. Like, I look high from this angle. When my daughter was a baby, a lot of her pictures would come out with these chinky or something like. She looked like, I don't know. My dad sending everybody a group text reminding us that it's his sister's birthday. Happy birthday, Didi! I freaking knew that at 12 a.m. I used to be I am everybody's calendar for the most part in my family while growing up because I have always been into astrology. That's another thing. So, you know, it's interesting the lineup, like, literally. Like, I have no, as far back as my memory goes in this lifetime, okay, I'm just talking about this lifetime, okay? Because, past life memory recall, that's deep. And the memory recalls of things that have been downloaded into me, the recognition, or just in my dreams, or like just the things, I'm telling you, I've woken up from past life recall dreams hysterical crying because of how, like, there's no debate as to what that is when you receive it. It's like, oh my God. And then it makes everything in the current timeline that is associated with that recall make fudging sense. It's like, that's why, oh my gosh. Like, even with my animals the past life memory recall, on the recall of my last experience with them as to why it is this experience now with them. Hysterical. Anyways, that was not what this was about either. So, what was I saying? Right, empaths, right? So if you're not being a conscious empath, right, about a lot of things, you're absorbing it, like the psychic sponge of that, right? You are. And so this is why a lot of attachments, a lot of cord cutting rituals are needed, right? This is where a lot of, like, you're carrying, like, the grudge, right? You're carrying, like, entities onto you. This is when people that aren't conscious but on the lower vibrational side of trying to fudge with you in your own life, that they can manipulate more your energy fields because they're conscious of your lack thereof of consciousness, and so they can play, right? In that kind of way. And so, you know, and we've been so conditioned, ingrained in our system to not trust or even get to know the intuit that is you. So anyway, join my Evolve Intuit coaching platforms, subscription platform, for as little as $555 a month, right? $555, then it's $13.13, then it's $22.22, then it's $33.33. It's the breakdown of these things, and then there's 2 other tiers that I am working on that is not open to the public at this moment in time. Yeah, I'm almost ready. I'm finishing up this last, like, minute record, and then we can go. I gotta go. So come on. I'm recording, literally. Raising divas. Seriously.
Why would you open this?
Shh. I'm recording. I can't do anything about it. So, right. So it's just a leveling of self-acknowledgement with a lot of stuff, right? In regards to how you're going to, annoy me. Right? Of how you're going to navigate, right, your own experience through mindfulness practices, and having to, like, force that discipline if you are not actively doing that naturally, like, on your own. So, like, I think about the processes of, like, just my own, like, developmental system of time stamping, because that's what I was talking about, time stamping parts and times in your life, right? Being able to, like, time travel through this, right? And if it's a cyclical pattern and shit like that, right, then when you catch it, like, that's, like I was saying from before, like, in the bathroom, like, like, where you're just like when those moments, right? So of presence, because that's what that is. It's like you're meeting yourself in your present day moment, and it's you saying to you, what the fudge is going on here, right? And it's at those moments of being in your present state that you're able to time travel even better through your own timeline of experience, right? To be able to understand this particular moment better now, because you have cultivated an experience, a cycle that allows you to look at it like, what's going on here? What's this pattern here? What is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I'm missing? What is it that what message is attempting to be conveyed that I missed from another day, that I want to end today, right? Awaken, right, to the sense of truth, right? What truth is revealing itself to me right now in my present state that I'm awakened to right now? Like, 'cause I'm awakened to this right now. Why is this my reality? What's going on here, right? The whole purpose of even just, like, hitting the record button of thought process, even though I go into my babbling. So if you're not into babbling, hop off and you can go somewhere else that, speaks direct, that's all that kind of stuff. I'm a poet and entertainer, right? Expressionist, a communicator. A bunch of stuff. I hate labels. Right? I am whatever I say I am, whatever I show I am, whatever I energize I am, whenever I do these things. And it's subject to change at any motherfucking given evolutionary moment, because infinite is I, expansive is I, right? On this evolutionary high, and I don't need to explain myself to no motherfucking body, right? So, but we do. And we do it anyways. And so what better way to then artistically create your own leveling of self-expression and share with yourself? Because that's what I'm doing, right? I be talking to myself, right? It was just like when I started my blog. I was lucky if one person read my blog. And not one person was probably me, because that was before I took off the self-counter. my one person reading my blog was me, right? So what are you doing, and why are you doing it, and what applause are you seeking, and what acknowledgement, validation are you truly seeking? Let's be real now, right? Right? So, right? You gotta love you so much too, right? That it's just whatever. When I was younger and confident in this way, and I was going through so much shit behind the scenes, because abusive life is what I was born into in this realm of existence, right? That's all I was shown, right? A violent history, right? I come from violence. That's why it amazes people when they do meet me and they don't know my history, they don't know my story, and they think, oh, like, you know, oh, she's just jolly and naive and all this kind of stuff or whatever. No, motherfucker, okay? This took a lot of motherfucking healing, diving, exploring. I die 1,000,001 deaths a day. Okay, I transform in every kind of way. I work on this strain of alignment that you think you see. Oh, jolly is me. That don't make me exempt from anything. It's a choice I make. So it's why I'm intolerable of other people's nastiness and take on things, because you choose to be that way. Right? Because I've been bitten in every kind of motherfucking way. And guess what? I still choose to be kind, to be nice, to be right. So it's a choice you make. That's why when I get on my high horse, I don't give a fudge what you gotta say about your development in any kind of way. You're not gonna talk to me in that kind of way. You better bite your lips today. Right? Violent, savage in these kind of ways. But I'm not gonna go there, because I choose to stay in my lane. So stay yours, right? That leveling of activate, it requires a level, because sometimes, you know, we get so caught up. I used to, they called me Tyson in high school. I'm little, okay? So, but I had that Napoleon complex too. I'll admit that. Especially elementary school, right? Because of all the mean kid stuff. And people thought they were tough. And then I came from violence from home, so I had anger issues of my own. And then you would have these mean kids, or these kids just say these things that they think they can say. And it used to activate my rage. Because remember, empath is I. So if I come from a violent place inside my home, which should be my safest place, and then I go out into the world and I have not processed or healed from this trauma that is occurring, right? And I have not separated myself from the occurrence either. So as an child empath who does not understand her own processes and demands, I have this overload of energy attached to me. Meanwhile, I'm just a child set to go into school and be free. And then you got all these other energies that are naturally going to gravitate towards me because of everything that I carry with me. So it's like the devil wants to meet. And it's that trigger in me, like that, you know, that suppression, that oppression, that trying to beat that light down, to dim it down, right? So a lot of people that I attract, that I help in my current state of namaste, right, are kind of like similar in energy like I, who have all these other kind of like gifts, natural abilities, and all this kind of stuff, but they got a lot of strife or a lot of stuff that was not nice. And so transmuting and knowing or learning of even just a bit of my own personal history, and I had to, I think by the time I graduated high school, I no longer was angry. I didn't have that anger chip on my shoulder. I had already evolved from that. And that was a lot. Because when I had a track record of getting suspended, always the first day or first week of school for fighting. Even when I went into high school, first day of class, suspended, right? That's where I got the nickname. They used to call me Xena in self-defense, because, you know, I come from martial art background. My dad was a martial arts fanatic, and I too was a fanatic, with just body movement and being a ninja, being a ballerina. So and I also was a cheerleader when I was little. I'm very flexible, and so, like, you know, in dance and all this kind of stuff. So I wanted to be like, my dream goal idea was being like a ninja ballerina, right? So, and then because the house I grew up in was kind of like not old, but like older, right? I don't know what year it was built. There were certain things, elements that, like, you know, like stairs that creaked. So, like, if I wanted to sneak around at night when everyone's asleep, the ninja in me used to jump like 15, 20 steps up high to land lightly on my feet, right? So, you know, all these practices and stuff like that. When I was in self-defense in high school, I had to be the sensei's partner, because no student wanted to be my partner, because I was Xena. Nobody, I like to drop bodies. And whatever the case may be, that's just a little insider scoop. But what I'm just trying to say is, I know anger in every kind of way. And I think by the time I graduated already, because I was already in a different kind of alignment with my education, where I was doing really good, like, academically. Just being clear in that. Yeah, anger was, I don't want to say, well, I can't say suppressed. Yes, it was the angry side, the rage, the one that had no patience, right? Like, in terms of arguing. Like, if you came to me with an argument, one, you better not, like, be invading my space. I had this thing with my space, claustrophobia, right? Two, I don't argue. So imagine that. So most people like to argue. So can you imagine someone that has anger issues, right? That doesn't argue. So how many seconds do you think a person has to step away from someone that has anger issues that's not going to argue with you, but you got like 10 seconds, not even 10. 10 seconds to go. You had 10 seconds to back up, right? Before someone who experiences, right? Because if you come from abuse and all you see is violence, imagine those kind of triggers that can cause someone to just snap, right? Or black out. Blackouts for me were dangerous. blackouts for me got, it's, yeah, right? So there's a lot, right? To transmute, to process, to heal from, to deal with, and all this kind of stuff. So, what was the whole point of that? I don't even know, but I gotta go, this was nice little chat while I was getting ready. Either way, oh, that was the message, right? Quick message before I go. Right now, I haven't checked in or tapped in with, like, what's going on astrologically, like, textbook-wise, and all this kind of stuff. I'm 2 more minutes. And, I usually don't. I usually tap in to check in, to just confirm certain things. I don't ever, I don't seek information to know. I seek to confirm. If that makes sense. Right. I think that makes sense. I think I said it right. Right? So when I'm checking in, it's not because I need to know. I'm just confirming some shit, right? Or spirit sent me this way to hear something, right? Grab something, grasp something, right? So I don't know what's going on. So I'm saying Biden. I don't know why I keep hearing Biden. It's the president, right? That's why I say the blonde, right? I was born an energetic blonde, even though I'm like genius. It's a balance, right? Anyways, but the energies around are heightened always, right? But what's being heightened here is an amplification of your activation, okay? Right? So there's something coming into like that Ouroboros style, right? If you go to like my videos from like a year or two ago, I've been led to play some of them back, like the Bat Oracles ones. Like, how ironic that I did a Bat Oracle in April of 2019 or something, talking about that it was needed, rebirth, and then a year later, around that time, we got hit with that COVID stuff. But anyways, yeah, I've been going backwards because I've been free to express, and I have left my whole journey. I don't delete. I may put some videos more on private just because that's just like, what the fudge was. That's when expression was just allowing me to express, and I don't care. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I want more to see that. You know, like when they hacked my Instagram account. I'm gone, right, 2 minutes. When they hacked my Instagram account and I flipped out on my YouTube channel and was just screaming. I was so mad. I may have put those on private. Anyways, because this is evolution. I'm not here hiding anything, and I'm not trying to sell you something, right? I'm here to be as real as can be and take with it as it resonates for you, and that's it. Bye. You know, we each here are going to be what we are going to be for one another, and I choose to be the beacon of light with my pouts, because I pout. People like, oh, you're so jovial, but I'm always pouting. Anyways, so the energies right now, right? So, and it's like, because I feel strongly hermit mode, silent mode, right? I feel like that's the challenge, right? To be that wise hermit, right? Coming out of its cave and enlightening in every kind of way, in whichever way that it's meant for you to do on your own stage. So what's being activated is certain kind of challenges that you're being met with in a different kind of color that is wanting you to show that color, speak that color, be that color, rule that color, understand that color better, expand that color, apply it, right? and wherever you have needed to strengthen more, right? Because it's all a process, right? The things that need to come up for your now engagement, those things are not whatever it is, right? The more you evolve, the less severe it gets, right? But it's still a challenge. It doesn't make it any less of a challenge. You know, in severity of chaos, that depends on your evolution, okay? But truth. Like, don't be so hidden, or don't be so desperate to fake shit either. I don't know who that was for, but that was for somebody. Like, be yourself. Be yourself through this new process, even if it's different than others, right? And express yourself in all your partnerings and all your relationships. Like, don't fake shit, and don't suppress shit. Like, be really, really, really you. Like, authentic too and true. Like, if you can't be open and real with the people in your space, then the only person you're being fake with is yourself, right? So be you. Be free to be you, even when it's uncomfortable. Okay? Yeah. I don't know. Whoever needed that. Either way, thank you so much for getting ready with me. I gotta go, as you can see. I got a boss over there, my diva.